people can relate to this. We're often on the go, and when you're not on the go, you don't be on the go. You want to just be like chilling out. The thumbs up thing again.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I feel you on that, because I feel like I've been doing something similar as well. Like, so I haven't been as rigid about like counting calories. Just about like there's only been like short time where I've done it along this like 5-year body that I've been on. So, but like even in regards to protein, like I've like eased up on how much like mental energy I put towards protein, but it's because I've like established certain like protein is central and an important component to my meals, and I structure that I have 4 to 5 meals, 98% of the time, 99% of the time. Only if like I'm on the road, like or I'm vacationing, that I usually don't eat 4 or 5 meals a day. So if I have breakfast, for example, it'll be like, and I know there's a lot of fat with eggs, but I'm actually like a big like of fat, because I think it can aid in recovery. Just making sure that like you have proper levels of cholesterol, which can have proper of hormones and strong hormonal balance, etc. So like a strong component will be like eggs, and then I'll usually include a dairy product. So it could be like a small bowl of Greek yogurt. I always have 4 eggs. So a large egg is typically about 60 to 70 calories, give or take, 6 grams of. I don't think about the fat. Sometimes I think about the protein, but more often than not, I just say 4 eggs. You know, if my wife wants to like cook breakfast for me or something like that, then it's like it's a running joke. She'll be like, "Oh, how many eggs you want?" Never mind, because like I always have 4 eggs. Always have 4 eggs. Like for lunch, I was running late this morning because as I usually do in the morning, in mornings, because I'm highly productive in the morning. I went for like a smoothie, so it'll always be what I assume be give or take about a quarter cup, so plus or minus quarter cup, 1 cup of Greek yogurt, low fat or no fat Greek yogurt. Again, like I don't put like mental effort into this. This is just like products that I always buy. And I'll interchange based off of like deals too, because I'm a cheapskate. So my preference was Oikos, like it's like high pro or pro Greek yogurt, which is like a low fat Greek yogurt. And they like essentially add like a scoop of whey protein to it. So it's 25 grams. It's either per cup or I want to say per 3/4 cup. So
I think it's 3/4 cup. Yeah.
So I love that stuff, but recently it's been in that like 749 range per.
Damn.
Rings, I know. So I can't manage. So what I'll default to is either like it's like Nature's Valley or Nature's Promise or something, which is, and I'm probably going like way too much like detail, but this is they're just like the things that I think about. So hopefully this helps, Gainz Nation. So like oftentimes a lot of what I do is I put myself on autopilot, like the human version of autopilot. I become like Microsoft. I've synchronized with. I am Copilot. Let me show you what my what I do for like my meal plan a week. I wonder if this would be helpful to Gainz Nation. So I'll come in here in a second, Gainz Nation. My apologies. A photo of it and send it to you all. Yeah, let me do it this way. I'm gonna flip the camera.
Is that your grocery list?
My grocery list, but it's also my meal plan. Gosh, Gainz Nation, why am I so horrible at technology? Flip the camera. This is hilarious.
Gainz Nation wants us to do a live podcast again one of these days.
That would be amazing. I don't want to share my screen. I want to switch camera. Here we go. All right. So, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that filter.
Background blur. All right, so this is my meal plan. So meal plan up here, it's only dinners. So for the most part, I will do eggs, and then some other auxiliary protein. It might be cheese. It might be a glass of Greek yogurt. My goodness, a glass of chocolate milk. A small bowl of Greek yogurt. I try to get between like 30 to 40, upwards of 45 grams of protein per meal. My second meal is almost always a smoothie because like that's like in the start of my work day, and work is just like insanely busy for me. I'm in sales, and like everyone wants to buy stuff from me at all times of my my work and wake hours. So I'm just like selling like a crazy man. I then usually eat during my break, which I'll usually reheat one of these meals here. So I'll just make like a side, like a meal sized portion of this, which I measure out an estimation to be about the 30 to 45 grams of protein. So these are the things that are kind of going on in the back of my head. And then my fourth meal of the day will usually be one of these meals here. So meals, I like to focus on a protein. So like we're having calzones tonight. We probably will actually nix this for burritos, to be honest with you, because we have a lot of ground beef left. So I'll just have a couple of tortillas, flour tortillas. I'll throw about a cup of ground beef, which is probably between 18 and 22 grams of protein. It's 80-20 ground beef, so Antoine's gonna kill me for that.
God damn, Bobby.
It's so bad, but
I bet it's so tasty though.
it's unbelievable. But
I bet it's really good.
I do drain out the fat, but I don't know what it makes it. Still probably 85-15 or something like that. So still like quite fatty. So that's why I say probably between 18 to 22 grams of protein, because I try to get about a cup of ground beef visually. About a cup. I'm not measuring, Gainz Nation. This is all just like I'm just like taking it with a scoop and bloop 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 until I think it's about that. Throw cheese on it, Greek yogurt, lettuce, tomato. I might cut up like some green bell peppers or scallions or red onion or something like that. Boom, take it to the face. So, and then if I did calzones tonight, I would make them very protein like dense. So cheese and then ground beef, and then have a salad on the side. So try and add a little bit of roughage, some fiber.
So did you mentioned you use Greek yogurt on your tacos? That's such a game changer. Like Gainz Nation, if it's one thing I would suggest, like if you like rice bowls, like burrito bowls, you like tacos, man, you even like maybe like protein cakes at night, like start getting used to like plain Greek yogurt. Like once you get used to it and you enjoy it, like, I mean, I get down like when I'm putting it on like my rice bowls, like I can down a spoonful. And don't get me wrong, I love sour cream. Like sour cream I can eat by like the container. And like we're talking, but like if you got like a non-fat plain Greek yogurt, and like say if you're having like 80-20 beef, some cheese, and you just want to beef up your protein intake, man, like I couldn't suggest one condiment for your like food, non-fat plain Greek yogurt. Like, or if you eat like a lot of lean meats like chicken or like, some porks that you could find that are really lean, and like some beef that are like 96.4, get like the full fat Greek yogurt plain. Like, dude, the full fat plain, man, it's so decadent and like so like rich. I'm sorry, I had to just throw that in there real quick, bro.
You know what I did for the Super Bowl? This is so bad. But it was also my brother's birthday, so I wanted to be kind of like something like special, like also like, as I've never like tried this before. I got Wagyu ground beef, and it was ridiculous, buddy. I think the macros were like 23 grams of fat per serving, and like 17 grams of protein or something like that. Like it.
Yeah.
When I took like, and we did smash burgers, and what did I do? I think I cooked up like little, I like caramelized like little like bits, and then I made burger buns. Everybody, they were like unbelievable. Like I like freaking knocked out. Maybe I'll post that for Gainz Nation, and I apologize for the
I'm jealous.
It was unbelievable. But like the amount of fat that was left over because I cooked them inside in the cast iron pan.
Yeah.
It was like I could have picked it up with my hand and like thrown it. It was so. I'm like, man, like my poor art right now.
Yeah, you know what we've been doing too to like I guess saving to like save money on like using like butter or like cooking spray. Every time like we'll eat like bacon like every 3 4 days, and what we'll do is we'll save that bacon grease, and then like say if we want to cook something where it needs to like have like a butter or cooking spray, we'll put it in the fridge and then take it out and put a spoonful and just like drop it in there like in our veggies or something.
Dang, buddy, I'm like so hungry right now.
But you want to hear something even worse about the plain Greek yogurt thing? Because like people are like sticklers on like sugars and fats, right? Some people like I've seen it where it must be absolutely disgusting, or maybe really good. Maybe if I'm like prepping it for a bodybuilding show, I'll try it out and let the Gainz Nation know. But like I'm good because like I got a pretty big profile. I don't need to like expand my food profile. But they'll do is take a whole plain non-fat Greek yogurt, and what they'll do is they will put either like the powdered zero sugar like Kool-Aid mix or like the liquid enhancers or like the water enhancers, and then they'll stir it up and they'll eat it for like I think a whole tub is probably like what like almost 100 grams of protein. But yeah, that's the weirdest thing. I've never done that. I've done some weird things in the past when I'm prepping for a bodybuilding show, but I can't condone those things. That seems like I could think of like 10 other ways to get 100 grams of protein in a better tasting way.
Man, the like this is not funny, but like we do it to ourselves. Like the eating disorders we create in the bodybuilding community is so bad. I remember towards the end of last year, I wanted to come up with a simple and straightforward diet that just about anyone that like ate meat and didn't have any objections towards like pork, for example, could well, I mean that's essentially what hung me up, but I didn't think about it too much. So I want to have a simple, like straightforward meal plan that like just about anybody could do as long as you ate meat. So it's centered on chicken. So I was like, boom, like I can get 150 grams of chicken in me, like no problem. Like that, like I would do chicken breasts. Like, won't be like as like as tasty, flavorful, all this stuff as like chicken thighs, but like it'll still be like I'll like add some jerk seasoning to it. I'll cook it in different ways. Maybe I'll add like a teaspoon of mayonnaise for like a whole chicken breast, all this stuff.
Oh, that's still not enough.
It was so bad. Like I can't, like now that I'm like thinking, I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? So chicken, right? But it's like you gotta have something else other than chicken because like your like flavor, like your you'd feel for something else, right? As my honey would say, I'm feeling for something nice. So you feel for something nice. So I'm like, what would fill my belly to like reduce some like the hunger signals, but would be like extremely low calorie, so that I could try and push out like this extreme caloric deficit diet for like 1 or 2 weeks, drop like 5 to 10 pounds. I was gonna do like a crazy hard like micro cut. So I'm like thinking, I'm like gelatin. I could do like low sugar or like artificially sweetened gelatin, which would like fill my belly. I could eat as much as like my heart desires. I was like, cool, 4 meals. I'm gonna do like 5 to 6 ounces of chicken breast, and I'm gonna do a whole box of Jello per meal. Like it was like such like disordered thinking, and I'm like, I'm gonna drop 5 to 10 pounds. I'm gonna be ripped. I'm gonna be ready to like bulk up to whatever weight I want to. And I'm like thinking about it. I'm looking at all the Jellos. I'm like, no, this has gelatin. Gelatin is usually like a pork byproduct, and I don't eat pork because my honey doesn't eat pork. All right, let's like try this Jello. No, this one has gelatin too. I went to like 10 boxes of Jello. I'm like, I get hit with an epiphany. I'm like, Jello. They use gelatin for Jello. So comment in the comment section of other forms of gelatin other than abstracting from pork that they use, but that's the number one.
You know what? I'll have to dig into it and send it to you afterwards. But I'm pretty sure they have high protein marshmallows that don't.
Yes, they're like vegan marshmallows. I have seen that.
Yeah. Someone posted it because I forgot what the heck he was making. He was making high protein Rice Krispies, where it has like the protein marshmallows and then like whey protein and a little bit of like butter or milk, and then like the Rice Krispies in there. And I think like 4 or 5 squares was like almost like 60 to 80 grams of protein and like 50 grams of carbs or whatever. So it was actually a pretty good recipe for like a high protein like a snack. So yeah, I'll have to like look that up real quick after this and send it over to you, because I swear there is, because they've had to. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's so many like chemically bonded like products that that can act as like a gelatin. But yeah, most of it's like pork derived, 100%.
Yeah. So it was just like such a funny epiphany, because I'm like, what the heck was I thinking this whole time? I was like, I started looking at puddings too, and they were still like using like gelatin like type products. So I'm like, oh my God, this is like stupid. I'm not doing this diet. Why do I want to do this? But I was like, oh, this is revolutionary. No one's ever thought of this. It's two food products. And yes, you will be deficient in micronutrients, but you're just doing it for the short term. So you create all these different like reasons why it's an okay diet, and then you like remove yourself a little bit, and you're like, man, that was a stupid idea I had.
Yeah, it's literally ridiculous. I mean, they even have like halal beef gelatin, so it's made out of beef instead of pork.
Wow.
The kosher gelatins. They even sell it on Amazon, so you can make your own Jello maybe one of these days, Roman. It's $20 for 16 ounces. So I don't know how expensive that is compared to regular gelatin, but I'm guessing it's more expensive for sure.
Nice. I wonder if it comes in like sheets. I've like seen people like make their own gelatin before, and it like kind of comes in like sheets, like thin sheets. Comment in the comment section below if you know how they make a halal beef gelatin.
This whole Gainz podcast is kosher, honestly, to be honest. If you think about it, right? I mean, let's just call it how it is. I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding.
On that topic, buddy, kosher dill pickles, or do you like sweet gherkins?
I'd say kosher dill pickles. Sweet gherkins are one of those things I could eat like maybe 1 or 2. But kosher dill pickles, I could eat like probably a whole container.
Exactly. I don't know people like. I honestly think that like sweet pickles are like the spawn of Satan itself.
The only time I ate like the sweet pickles is when I was prepping, honestly, because like the desserts and like all that is like so spare. Like I think they make like even like is Vlasic one of the brands?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, they make like I think like a Splenda version or something like that. Or maybe I even added Splenda and like shook it up and ate the pickles. I don't, dude. I could, man. There's been times where I was eating frozen green beans in Walden Farms like caramel dip. That's how low bodybuilding prep is. It's disgusting. Like I'm Gainz Nation. I'm telling you, prepping for the 2 shows kind of ruined artificial sweeteners for me. Because my fat ass doesn't want anything besides the real thing now. Like don't give me like even when I was telling you about those like whey protein like Rice Krispies, like dude, I will never make those. I just eat a Rice Krispie and have a protein shake. Like there's no way like those taste probably like any like good compared to like the processed like Rice Krispies.
Oh, yep.
Like I couldn't even do it. Like it's like I try. Like we were trying to what was it the other day? What the heck were we making? Oh, I made sourdough hotcakes. So they're like, like a thicker pancake pretty much. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I kind of want something sweet with it. So I put like, and maybe it's my fault. I should have used like plain Greek yogurt. I did the vanilla Greek yogurt with protein powder. And man, it was so darn artificially sweet that like I had to like eat it by itself because it just like was ruining the hotcakes for me, if that makes sense.
You can't do this all the time, but you know what my stepdad used to do, which is like next level. So this is pro tip, Gainz Nation. I'm a little closer to the speaker. White chocolate and banana, but the secret sauce, you know that bacon grease you were talking about? Before you put your pancake batter on your sizzling hot skillet, you just take a little bit of bacon grease and you put it on the skillet. You put your pancake batter, your white chocolate chip banana pancake batter on there. It like almost like creates this like fried crisp layer.
Oh yeah.
Side, and then like a little bit of like fried crispy bits on the inside. It's got a little bit of like salt. Like my mouth is like turned into a garden hose. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, my mom used to do that with pancakes. Like she took a bunch of bacon growing up, and then she would throw pancakes on the like bacon grease pan, or like she would put it on like the long pans. And yeah, that also another thing too is why do they call white chocolate when there's no cacao in there?
I don't know. That's a really good point.
It's just like the word. I honestly don't really like white chocolate because of that. Because like chocolate, like to me, is like so much better than like white chocolate. So I mean, nothing wrong with white chocolate. I like both, but
it's kind of like a fraudulent chocolate. Like you expect cacao in there. Like, oh, is this 44% cacao or is this 56% cacao? And they're like, actually, there's 0% cacao. And they're like, how is this even chocolate? They're like, we don't know. We should call it like chocolate like. It almost what's the almost tastes like butter product. It almost tastes like chocolate.
When it's are you talking about the margarine brand?
Yeah, I can't believe it's not chocolate.
Butter. I can't believe it's not butter, but it's chocolate. I can't. And it's like another thing too. Like chocolate is one of the most like longest processed foods to make, and it's like so cheap, which is like pretty scary if people actually look into it. But yeah, like making chocolate's actually a very long process.
Yeah. And the crazy thing that like not a lot of people are aware of is like the number of like trees we have like in the planet are shrinking, or they were last time.
What?
They're shrinking drastically.
What is?
The number of cacao trees.
That's not good.
Not good. So
every woman on this planet that I know loves chocolate. They go insane. Like my wife, there's periods of time where I got to go to the store because she needs chocolate. There's no other fight. Like we don't have chocolate in the house. Whoa, what are we gonna do? We got to break the glass and we got to rip it out and eat
it. Burn down the whole town until you.
No, let me ask you this. If there was a cacao, drop in numbers where we can't even buy chocolate, or you wouldn't be able to buy it as much, do you think the world would go mad?
100%. And like it would go from like 50-50 like men, women to just like and women we can't live on this planet anymore. We're gonna off to like Mars and live on like in like Elon's like Mars colony or something like that. As long as we can have chocolate up there.
That's the only thing holding this world together. Isn't that pretty? Would that be pretty sad though if that's the thing that's holding the world together? Everyone just goes mad. Oh gosh. Gainz Nation, we did have a subject today, but because we have about like 4 minutes left, we're not gonna get too much into it, but we did talk about some things, right?
But yeah, we talked about the eating, a little bit about recovery. We can talk about stress management. Because eating helps with stress management.
Well, I was gonna tell you. So I started making the sourdough. So I made some sourdough bread, some sourdough sandwich bread. Gainz Nation. I was just gonna keep on the track with food, Roman. But this afternoon, we made sourdough cinnamon rolls. Oh my!
What?
Oh.
I haven't even thought of that. How'd they turn out?
Oh man! I mean, hands down, like the best cinnamon rolls I've ever had. And like we made our own like frosting. So we did like cream cheese, honey, and like vanilla extract as like the sauce on top. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh yeah. You want to know what my lunch consisted of? I grilled some chicken thighs, and then I grilled like chicken breast for Sam, because I usually don't eat chicken breast anymore really. Because like to Roman's point, like the fat content, I don't really care too much because I don't really like eat tons of bunch of like fat, but like when it comes to meat, like I'd rather eat chicken thighs. So yeah, I had like three chicken thighs and then like 2 cinnamon rolls for lunch. That's a pretty good I was ready for a nap after that, because like the cinnamon like the cinnamon brown sugar mixture inside the cinnamon roll is like filled with butter, and then the sauce with cheese and honey. It's like, god damn.
How was the proving process with that? Because that's the one thing that kind of kills me about sourdough, is like I'm always freaking rushing around trying to do too much. So when I make like a like white loaf of bread, I try to like game the chemistry. So I'll add just like a little bit more sugar to speed up the reaction of the yeast, and then I'll throw it in the oven like really low temperature, like 170, and as soon as it hits temp, boom, I'll turn it off, so I can create like a nice like tight enclosed space that I can speed up that reaction and kind of like speed up the proving process. I'm almost trying to create like a proving drawer essentially. So I've been able to get like a double rise prove in about like 40 to 45 minutes, give or take. So the thing with sourdough is it always takes so long to prove. What's been your experience with that, buddy?
Yeah, so like the starter process, like if you don't like keep it in a good temperature, like we keep it in our oven with the oven light on, but with like it being off. But like you gotta feed it like once a day at least, and you just gotta keep doing it every day. But like honestly, I got to the point where like my starter, like if I feed it at nighttime, like it takes about like 6 to 8 hours to pretty much like peak and then when it peaks, like because you put like a marker and you want it to obviously like double or more. Like today, I got another like, well, not sandwich bread, but like that like this like like the standard sourdough loaf you see like at Panera Bread or whatever, or the stores. It's like that round shape and like a flat bottom. Like as I got done baking the cinnamon rolls, like my starter was like tripled. So I was like, okay, like either I could use that to like start making a dough and then let it sit overnight and then bake it tomorrow, or pretty much like once that peak is done and it like drop, because it'll drop pretty much. Like say if like the line's right here, like my starter was like, and it was like here, and it was like pretty much like here, and it like almost tripled. And then that's when it's like, dude, that stuff is like golden. So we got it. So like after the cinnamon rolls, like we get, because it's like for that that loaf of bread, it's like pretty much about like 2 hands worth. It's like pretty big. You get like 10 slices or so, like thick slices, and then you only need about 100 grams of it. But so what I give or take, you're only supposed to like use like the number you take out of the starter, because when you feed it, you have to take out stuff and then like discard it, which is like a weird. We finally figure out what to use for the discard, which I'll mention after this. But like like now I'll have dough tomorrow to bake, but like I still have like the sandwich bread, I have the round loaf, and then we have cinnamon rolls. but like I probably won't bake that loaf until like tomorrow. I actually no, never mind. I finished the sandwich bread just before this. So I only have the loaf, like a little, like 1 or 2 slices of loaf, and then the cinnamon rolls, which we're gonna probably give some of the cinnamon rolls away because that stuff I can't have that in here. But yeah, like pretty much like you have to keep it active. That I'd say that's the bad thing about it compared to like yeast. Like yeast, you could probably just like keep it in the fridge and like use it as is. And so yeah, and like the discard, like you can't. So discard, when you take it out and you like put it in your fridge. Like discard doesn't make anything rise. So if you think of sourdough discard, you could use it for anything that doesn't need to rise. And we had about 2 cups worth yesterday, and we found a cool recipe, and it actually turned out really good. But we used it to make crackers. So what you do is you melt a little bit of butter, and it's like not a lot of butter. It's like 2 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons. And we did like 2 big sheets of crackers, and then you put like whatever seasoning, you bake them, and then you score them and make the lines on how big you want your crackers, and then you bake them until they get like golden brown and like crispy pretty much. Or you could do like flatbreads. You could honestly do like waffles with the discard. So you kind of use it as like whatever you want that you don't need it to rise. Like you can't use discard to like make like, pizza doughs. You can't make like bread, loaves. You don't want to use it for like cinnamon rolls. Like you want to use like the active starter that's like that you've been growing. And it's like pretty much like a bacteria. And it's like it smells like weirdly good. I bet people sometimes would probably think it doesn't smell that good, but yeah, I mean, honestly, guys, it digests. I told Roman, but it digests like so well with my body. Like obviously, besides the cinnamon rolls, like with all like that heavy fat content, like before this, I had a roast beef sandwich with that just the plain sourdough loaf bread, and then I put mustard on it, and like I feel good. Like I got a lot of energy. Obviously, I'm talking a lot. I'm not yawning, and I feel good. So
That's amazing, buddy. Heck yeah.
But thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for watching, listening. Please hit subscribe, like, follow, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.